lovely Laveau and Pam on Something Else. Let's start the show off right.
Hey guys, good evening. I'm IllFam79 on your social media choice. Welcome to the show. Something Else, where we talk to all types of folks about things other than professional wrestling. I am IllFam79 on your social media choice, aka the On Addison the podcast, and aka Captain Brew Albano, Brew Diamond Phillips. Pod, God's favorite podcaster. Rest in peace, Clark Kent. Potty Pipe. I'm here to podcast Chew Bubblegum, and I'm all out of Dentine Ice and my tag team partner.
Your tag team partner trying to figure out where that voice came from. But as always, it's your girl, Lovey Laveau, the black brew house with the big blue hair, also known as the business, the squirt business, and always known as I told y'all niggas. And today we have an amazing guest. We have someone that is a part of the BRP family. We have DDM in the building with us. Baby, how are you feeling today?
Hey girl. I am feeling great. I am so happy to be here. You know, usually when I see you guys, we're talking about grapples and body slams, but I'm very excited to talk about things outside of this big man.
Yo, that was like a little bit of that felt like Joker. Like from the Batman Joker, like why are you so serious? Like that's what I got from there. That's what I got, brother DVD. What's going on, man? First of all, how was everybody's day?
Oh, it was good.
I see Sister Lovely hitting the bottle already.
That's only because this is going on YouTube and I can't spark up what I want to do. So
she talking about sparklers. She talking about
yeah,
sparklers,
I got incense and shit.
July, you know what I mean, and yeah, all that.
Yeah.
You two don't like reefer? It's legal.
A reefer Franklin.
Reefer, yeah, reefer, legal reefer.
We too. That ages you every time you say reefer.
You do realize, like, I be wearing my age like a badge of honor. Like, I could talk like.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. What I am is just observing.
Yeah, absolutely. But I like I still. As a 40-something-year-old man, I still hang out with my OG, right? And when I greet people, when I talk about like my relationships to other people, like I always hear my OG outside of myself, like coming from myself, like, okay, like, you know, we leaving. I ain't not like that's directly from my OG. I didn't just you know what I'm saying. You know,
we talk like old people. We literally talk like old people in a regular setting conversation. I call everybody sugar, baby. It's like that's just who I am. It's just in us. And some of y'all niggas need OGs.
No shade.
No
shade.
All shade. Y'all niggas need OGs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, we tried. We still try. You know what I mean? If you guys need any words of advice, call somebody else. No,
don't call me.
So DDM, fresh out the gate, I feel like you could be an OG to a lot of folks, especially here in the city. I've met folks and they've seen. Oh, I seen you on DDM page. How you know that nigga? I was like, oh, hey, look, I don't want no trouble.
I don't want no trouble.
Have you ever had a chance to kind of mentor folks? You've been in the Baltimore music scene for quite some time. Have you had a chance to mentor folks? And who would you consider your OG?
Here's the thing, right? That whole mentor thing, like, I never like to, and this is real shit, I never like to say I influenced anybody or I did this or did that, because, you know, I never want to be that person, right? But I will say that there are people in this scene who I have given honest opinions to. I've given honest critique to. I've been a listening ear, and I've offered a different perspective outside of where they are in their feelings at that time, right? I'm also one of those people where I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm one of those folks that's like, you will learn.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta learn.
Yeah,
And I don't give advice unless you ask for it.
that's it. That's the one.
As far as like my OG, if we talking like music, like I really have one, no shade, and I'm not saying that in an egotistical way, but like there's a group of especially queer Black rappers, musicians, songwriters who we had to kind of figure it out and kind of make the playbook for ourselves. So it was nobody really holding our hand. Are there older people who were out before me or had established themselves that I kind of would see and admire? Absolutely. Pork Chop from 92Q was one of those people. The first time I saw him was in Rice Road Plaza here in Baltimore, just outside Baltimore County, Baltimore City. And he used to, in addition to radio, before he like really did radio, he used to work at this record store in the plaza called Picture the Music. And he, Pork Chop was a rapper first. A lot of people don't know that. He had an album out called The Night that he had did independently. And
shout out to Victor Newman.
Right. And he was the first person I saw. I went up there to get a Harlem World CD. Oh, I'm dating myself.
Shout out to Blinky Blink.
And,
oh, please.
And me and my friends, I know my homegirl Crystal, and it was somebody else said he freestyled for us, which it might not be a freestyle, probably written, but he freestyled for us on the spot behind the counter at Picture the Music, which is something people just don't do anymore. And he would, when I saw him, I was like, oh, I could do this. Like, I could like do this. So every time I see Pork Chop, do I talk to him every day? No. Is he like one of my people that I just can't pick up the phone and call? No, actually he slid me. He curved me on a feature a couple of years ago. But and that's not a shade, that's just the facts. But he is somebody who I was like, and every time I see him, it's nothing but respect, and it's nothing but admiration, and I'm thankful for what he contributed to that spark in one aspect of what I do. Yeah, but as far as myself, I know that I've given people advice, and being the first out queer rapper in Baltimore City, that rap. Now, Miss Tony, we know Miss Tony, but as far as like rapping, there are a lot of people who reference me, and they acknowledge me, and I appreciate it. But I don't live in that because. Right. I don't live in that. Okay. I don't live in that though, because I'm still very much writing my story. And when you live in that, you become complacent. Like I just had a spark, and I know I'm rambling. I just had a spark to write an EP about my life as a gay Black man on these dating apps, trying to find substantial. And I done wrote 2 of the songs already. I'm going in Saturday to lay all 4 of them down. And that shit's coming out on my birthday on the 25th.
Period. I love that. So that's something that I actually didn't know about you. So I fresh to you. So I'm not well versed in how you came around. I was just like, okay, I like this energy. Let's figure it out. And so that's kind of where I was with you. So I had no idea that you did music at all. Yeah. So how did that start off? Like, when did you get into it? And what kind of got you into, outside of, what you were just saying about hearing somebody freestyle? What really was like, okay, let's focus on this?
In the beginning, I just wanted to be somebody. Lovely, it's interesting that you're asking this question now, because if I had got this question from you a decade ago or 10, 15 years ago, I would have given you a different answer. At this stage in my life, in this rebirth and new beginning, I realized that I wanted to do music because I felt like I was anonymous. And I wanted to feel like I was somebody, and that I was important, and that I mattered to someone. Not saying that I didn't get that from home, but I felt very ignored. I was always the person that would be second best. I'm not the person that you would pick in school first or pick for this project first. I was always not even a backup. I was the backup to the backup. Yeah. So music and specifically battle rap in the beginning was a great way to kind of jump the line to notoriety, because if you have a great cipher, if you have a great battle, everybody knows your name, at least in that small city that you live in, and then you matter.
Yeah. What league? What battle league?
I mean, leagues didn't exist in the mid 2000s, right? Like that started. I mean, they may have, but they weren't at the prominent level that they are now.
Was Shaka Pitts doing the battles then? Is that who was hosting them?
Shaka Pitts had some the One Love Cypher, Star Wars, First Fam. Like, you had different people doing them in the area, and that was the way for me to kind of, you know, get a name and get notoriety. I mean, they still talked about me because they knew I was, you know, gay or whatever, but it wasn't confirmed and I wasn't out. Yeah. So it was one thing I loved about a battle is that it didn't matter if your hair was cut. It didn't matter if you had the best clothes. It didn't matter if you had that. If you sliced them good enough, day, and that's what I always appreciated about a battle.
Yeah. So when you were not out but rapping, how, and I'm not trying to be careful, but I'm trying not to be like if you run up on DDM now and you be like, "What's up, yo?" and 30 seconds in, you like, "Okay, this is probably a gay man." Was it that easy back then when you weren't out? Were you trying to mask things? Because your personality isn't really that I know, but I have only known you as an out man. You know what I'm saying? What was it like rapping then, and how would niggas, you know, interact with you?
It was jarring for a lot of people. And the reason why I say that is because my persona when I was battling, and even in my live performances, if anybody ever seen me live, it's very aggressive, it's very loud, it's very pronounced. It's very like, when I rap or when I perform, you feel like you can get in a Tahoe and ride down the block and rob a bank. Like that's the way
she say wreck it, nigga. Yeah. That's my joint.
Like, I need to hear this. I had no clue. I'm sitting here like, word. I want to listen. I want to rob somebody.
Like, you hear that a lot on Ballad of Omar. Ballad of Omar, that project really spoke to those early years. But it was jarring for a lot of people because you had this guy who was heavyset. I was bigger than what I was now, but I wasn't as toned. I didn't have any fashion sense. So it was white tees, Jabot jeans, Air Force Ones, fitteds, hoodies, you know, standard hood fare. Yeah. And it was jarring because you see this big guy with this, you know, aggressive tone and energy and menacing, intense kind of flow. And then as soon as the rap part is over, I get off stage and it's like, "Oh, hi, fam, how's it going?" You know, it very Michelle A. That's the okay. I can describe it.
That's a perfect analogy,
people, right? Very Michelle A. So people didn't know how to take that, and as a result, I would not talk often. So a lot of people who know me from that time and they've kept up for me, I get people that say this from that era who follow me on social media and keep up with me. They say, "Man, if we'd have known you was this funny or you was this kind of person, we'd have loved to spend more time with you." And I said, that's very much by design, because in the beginning, I just didn't talk. So there's no, like, you know how people have homies that they was cool with from music or whatever for years. I don't have that because I was so consciously quiet and I did not go to events outside of a performance event. I wasn't going to the after party at somebody's house or going, I didn't do none of that. I showed up, I rapped, and I went the fuck home. Sorry.
No, we can. You can say fuck it.
Please.
You just the
Yeah.
other word. We ain't
Yeah,
going.
right. I went home. So, and the thing is, when I did battles, you of course you do a lot of them for prize money, and I had at one time drug dealers investing in helping me with mixtapes and recording and stuff like that. But I tell people all the time, even with that, whoever cuts the check sets the debt. So you want to be mindful of that. But yeah, so it was very jarring. And I wasn't confident.
I never felt nervous about asking a follow up, but you know what? I am not gonna ask that follow up.
No.
No, because when you talk about drug dealers, like sometimes like you be like, oh, was it yo? You can't answer.
Oh yeah, no, I would never disclose that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Baltimore City.
No, because we all knew brothers that was financing anything, but you mentioned not being a nigga with fashion sense at that time. Can you remember the first time you was like, I'm gonna kill these? I don't know who you said you was gonna kill, but the fit was ready and you set it at the foot of the bed with whatever goddamn, because I know you're a label person, you know what I mean? I know you're a label nigga, you know what I'm saying? So can you remember the first fit? You're like, killing these whores today.
Well, funny story. I have been reading Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, since I was 15 years old. I used to, before I got a job, what I used to do, I used to take the Source, Vibe, Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, and my mother would send me to the store to get a Sunday newspaper. And I would put those magazines inside the Sunday newspaper, and they would ring up the paper. So for that 75 cents, so however much the paper was, I got all my magazines because I couldn't afford to pay the $5 and stuff for those magazines, right?
Put it inside the newspaper.
so I would go to Super Pride of Food King, which is the chains that were out at that time, and I would do that, and that's where I learned about fashion, couture houses, all the girls who were popular, to Shalom Harlow, Naomi, Christy Turlington, all of those girls, and I had the fashion sense, but I was a heavy set guy. And I was at that time, it's not like how it is now. So I didn't know how to dress the body that I had. And also too, I was not confident. And this what you see now is amalgamation of years of living. And at that time, I was not confident and I didn't know what to do. So I just wore my hood uniform. But I was reading Vogue and Harper's Bazaar.
So, what do you remember that first fit where you was like, you know what, I'm gonna kill them tonight, and they gonna know Dapper Dan Midas, god dang it, because I'm representing, and I'm gonna throw this on it, and I killed them.
It's not any one singular moment, which is a really good question. It's not any one singular moment. But I do remember a season around 2009, 2010. Okay. And this was during the rise of Gaga. You had Nicki out, Kesha, Beyonce. It was the rise of, everybody had the big oversized glasses with the box shoulders and the spiked heels and all that stuff. I started experimenting with different things, and I started. Anybody who knows me knows I'm very much a student of history. So the way that I've always dressed myself, because I was a plus size person, I always looked at historical fashion. In particular, historical fashion from West Africa, Greece, Rome, and Japan, because they specialize in big cloth, avant-garde, and different silhouettes that actually help a plus size person. That's when I fell in love with Grace Jones and, all of that, and hoods and things like that. So that season is when I started to get it. And when I did like one of my last big battles before I really transitioned into an artist, that was the battle where I kind of outed myself. That's when I came in with the fur hat, hood, like race glasses, fingerless gloves, the nail polish, like the whole thing. And that was when I really started to not give a shit.
I love that. That's my favorite thing about people. One thing that I heard you say, I think one of the first times I interacted with you, or maybe one of the first times I watched you on BRP, you said something, and I was like, "This is somebody I can rock with." You because people, I think y'all were talking about your sexuality and who you are. You was like, "I'm a nigga first, no matter what's going on. I am a nigga first." And one thing that I can appreciate coming from our era of elders, that I like to say, it. Be careful with your words, lovely, because a lot of people tended to use their sexuality as a gimmick and kind of a cloak to hide who they actually are, right? And I don't believe that what we do in the bedroom should be who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We just are who we are, and we express it in whatever way that we do. What moment did you have? Because I think all of us in the community have this moment where you had that grown-up moment where it's like, you know what? I'm not about to make my sole identity off my sexuality. I'm going to show you who I am. Was there a specific moment that happened to you to make you say, okay, no, you're going to get me?
I think it was, once again, it wasn't like a specific moment, but I think what happened, and it happened probably, and I don't want to bring this up, but at the beginning of the Trump era, because prior to that, being in the DIY scene and warehouse parties, post my battle step, you're partying with kids from all walks of life, all ethnicities, all, races, backgrounds, social, financial class, the whole nine. They loved me. We never thought about those things in that era as far as race dynamics, things like that. But post the Trump era, and I hate to say this, we started thinking about those things.
Yeah.
And I remember, I'll never forget, it was a moment where I had did a show at this club here in Baltimore. It was a DIY space, grungy, called The Crown.
What's DIY? Shout out to The Crown.
Not the wrestling tag team, but DIY.
No, it was a lot of like backpack hip hop. Shout out to like Tislam, E-Mage, and all them niggas. Anyway,
but DIY in the warehouse. It's not the same as like backpack. DIY is like club kids, ravers, things like that. DIY stands for do it yourself. So oftentimes, DIY actually embodies the real original spirit of hip hop, setting up a place, rigging the lights, from some outside source, and you may have a party in an abandoned warehouse that night.
Can I stop you right there? Because you just said something that was so enlightening, and at my old ass age, it just clicked. There's so many parallels with hip hop culture and the ballroom scene that people don't connect, because hip hop was something that was created for a niche community to feel safe, to be who they are, make a family affair, even no matter how it turned out now with y'all doing all this crazy shit. Right. But it was something that was for us, by us, that we could feel safe in. And that was exactly the whole point of ballroom culture, for people who didn't have families to support them for being and loving who they are. And that's how we got the families and the houses and stuff like that. So for you to kind of be almost that bridge, that shit kind of dope. And I'm saying that for me, like, that's kind of fire.
Well, thank you. I can't take sole credit for it, because what happened after I did the battles and after I came out, the hip hop community basically was done with me. So the DIY community, the club kids, it was this guy, and I will say his name until forever. This kid, Adam Schwartz, Jewish kid from Missouri, who had moved to Baltimore, and he liked what I did. He was a real advocate for me. I don't want to call him a fan, because that's cheapening what he did for me.
Yeah.
and he's a DJ. He lives in California now with his wife. And he said, DDM, he's like, I want you to, do a show and everything. And in battles, you win prize money, but you don't get paid to perform when you're indie hip hop artist. Nobody wants to pay you. That DIY show, that was the first time I got paid for a performance. And every DIY show, those club kids, those college kids, they paid me. I don't care if it was $50. You left with something. Yeah. And they helped me realize that what I did had value and that I was worthy of selling a ticket and worthy of people paying me for what it is that I do. And it changed the course of my career. And how I viewed myself. I don't think Adam to this day understands how much he instilled in me and he poured into me by doing that, because not for nothing, my own people had kind of left me out to dry. Also, to be fair, it was a different time. It was 2010. We weren't quite there yet. But yeah, Adam Schwartz, or Schwartz, as his DJ name was affectionately called, he was those kids at the Copycat, and that era, that scene will forever mean a lot to me.
Yeah. I don't get a lot of opportunities in this show to not be outnumbered. Right? I am consistently berated and made fun of because of my pronunciation of certain words. And
we about to do this in front of company?
We are definitely going to do this.
All right.
Because I got backup tonight.
Okay, that's fine.
I got backup. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have to talk. I am not from Baltimore. Right? I am not from DDM. Am I from Baltimore?
No, you are from just outside of Baltimore area. So it's not this. And to the outside world, it's like that's all Baltimore, but to us, that's not Baltimore.
Correct. And I don't ever want to be false flagging, right? I am from Severn. I rep Severn. Everywhere I go, they ask me in whatever people are. I'm from Severn, just outside of Baltimore, right? However, culturally, like I'm affected by Baltimore culture. When I'm drinking a little more, you can hear an accent more. However, DDM, you don't need no liquor.
Nope.
Your accent, sir, is very pronounced. What is your experience with? Because someone just was shout out to Chris Lee. Shout out to nigga. I'm talking about you.
Leave my out of this, brother.
He said he wants to hear an argument between a nigga from Memphis and a nigga from Baltimore. What's your experience with? But since you are international DDM niggas out, you know what I mean? This nigga be outside. He don't never really be in Baltimore, to tell you the truth.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I could fight. But what has been your experience with niggas talking about the Baltimore accent and when you run into folks and they're like, oh, where you from? Or, oh, you from Baltimore, huh?
Some people love it. Some people are like, ha, ha, ha. When I was in Europe, they just looked at me as an American. They thought my voice was charming. For some people in the States, it's like, oh, you definitely from Baltimore, because that you and that dude, it's definitely Baltimore. You from Baltimore. You look like you watch the bar. You live down by the bar.
Okay.
I'm like, no, I live by the bar.
Okay, wait, because we're not going to do this to make it seem like I am anti.
Hey, let's make fun of how she say do.
I don't give a damn. So here's the thing, because IllFam79 on your social media choice likes to lie on me, and I don't really like it. I absolutely love the Baltimore accent. It is by far top 2 favorite accents of all time. So I purposely have him try to get him to say stuff. just I don't know what it is, because it's so Don't jump me. Don't jump me when I say this. I often say that the Baltimore accent is like the hood English accent because that's
It is.
exactly what it sounds like,
It
the
is.
UK accent. And then
It is.
I know history. That's where them niggas came. They came to that area, and that's why y'all sound like that. And I absolutely, I will give you a list of words to say to me to put me to sleep. Give me all the twos, clues, blues, clues. Let me do YouTubes. I don't care about none of that. I love it. And then if you have a certain tone with your voice when you say it,
Yeah.
like you have a very soothing voice, like a very soothing voice. And I'll listen to you talk all day. That's why when you were saying you're rambling, I was like, keep going.
You know, it's interesting you brought up the UK connection because Dominic West left me a message, the actor.
You got it.
we were-
McNulty. Tell him, nigga.
McNulty.
All right, tell him
You
who
gotta
he
say
is.
McNulty.
Because
Don't nobody know Dominic.
we were in talks about, because I'm in acting now. We were in talks about a television show, and he sent me a nice sweet message, and he talked about his love for Baltimore, and I've talked to other people from the UK who live here or film here and things like that, and they say that there's a kinship with Baltimore people that reminds them of home. Like we even the way that we do things, look at things. Like I was watching Top Boy, and that's Baltimore City. It's just in Somerset residences or estates. They call them estates. It's just Somerset estates. But it's so, even the way that they look, the way that they feel, it is so identical to the Baltimore way of life in many ways.
Yeah.
So it is UK people love us.
Yeah.
Long story short, the UK finds a friend in Baltimore City.
Because there is an underlying connection, even though the connection may have started not so great, that is still there. You have like I tell people with a West Indian. So a lot of times you hear people from Ireland, right? A lot of people from Ireland just sound like white Jamaicans. And there's a reason for that, because
like the mother on Bobby's World.
She's from fucking Boston. Or Wisconsin.
She sounded like she was like I thought she was Jamaican. I was like, why is she white Jamaican?
Low key, she sound like y'all.
Nah, she sound like buckle. You know what I mean? Massive.
But that kind of thing, like even though the history is ugly, the remnants are still there.
Oh, absolutely.
So every time I will purposely have conversations with people from Baltimore that I know will make them passionate, because the more passionate y'all are, them ooh-wee doos be going crazy.
It is definitely
crazy.
It is definitely a thing when it comes to Baltimore City and the love that we have for city. And Baltimore honestly is a city of aristocrats. And when you look at the history of Baltimore, it is definitely that. Frederick Douglass was actually sent to Baltimore, I believe, to live with the family, where the wife actually wanted him to learn how to read and kind of like started that. And then he would actually pay like neighborhood children and like food or chores. I'm paraphrasing here, so don't take me to a wall. But long story short, in Baltimore is where Frederick Douglass learned his first scholastic, teachings and things like that. But yeah, it is a city of aristocracy, and what's interesting is that Baltimore people do not understand why they have so much pride in their city, and it's because that genetic information has passed down. And so there's people like, oh, Baltimore, y'all think y'all cute. We're a city of aristocrats. And prior to the crack era, we were always that kind of city.
Yeah. And that's the thing with most black, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Most like black saturated cities, though, if you take out the trauma, we are always prideful of who we are, where we come from. And I don't think people, like a lot of people get stuck on what the media shows for Baltimore and what the news shows for Baltimore, whatever you've heard about Baltimore, there's so much history, there's so much art, there's so much good shit in that city. And I go and I have a ball. I get in trouble, but it's good trouble. But I absolutely love Baltimore. I was actually considering moving up there at one point, but
really?
then I wanted to move to Baltimore so bad that I was like, I'd be pregnant, and I'm not doing that. But go ahead, IlFam79.
And
Ask your question.
pregnant.
Why would you?
gonna be
Why,
pregnant?
that's the segue you gonna give me? That's
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna take
I-
that segue. Hey, DDM, give me your Mount Rushmore of women that could get it.
Oh, what the fuck?
Talk about a seg of waves. Oh,
I was not
my God.
prepared.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I have. I don't know if I'm as comfortable enough with any other gay men to ask him that question I just asked DDM. So
No,
I got to take
I
this.
think
You know, this is my man. You know what I'm saying? This is my homeboy.
I think that's a
So,
fair question, and it's not a bad question at all. I live for it actually. So I mean, it's a lot of women who could get it. For me, I like strong women. I don't like a damsel in distress. So I've never been that way. But let's see. Let me.
because it's only 4. It's Mount Rushmore. I don't need to top 5.
Only 4. So
it's only
Mila
4.
Jovovich.
Okay.
She got the blue eyes, white girl with the blue eyes.
She's in the Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Blue eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody just did that for Halloween too.
She's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Ice Spice did it.
Unfortunate.
Nah, it looked good.
Let's see. Mila Jovovich. I'm trying to think. Zendaya. Oh,
Really?
I love that lady. Oh, I love her. Oh my God. And you know what it is about Zendaya? She is not a damsel in distress. She is supermodel looks, fashion icon in the making. And she gives the energy in interviews and just how you see her as roundaway girl. And she's not messy.
Mm.
And I like that. And she just Zendaya, absolutely.
Oh my.
You know what's funny is Zendaya is so young. I can remember that was the first like chick on TV my son was looking at.
Oh wow.
Mavadea, absolutely. Who else? I'm trying to think.
I'm surprised he hasn't said the one person that has been on every single one of my gay homeboys lists. Kelly Rowland has been on every single list.
I love Kelly, but she don't do it for me in that capacity.
Ooh-wee.
But I love her though. She just don't do it for me in that capacity. I'm trying to really think and give a really real answer. So Zendaya, Mila Jovovich.
She was in the video game movie too, right?
Who?
Mila.
She was in Resident Evil.
Yes.
She's in Resident Evil. All the singers that I like, the actresses that I like. Casey Musgraves.
Who that is?
Yeah, I don't know.
Country singer.
Country
That's why I
singer.
don't
But
know that.
she's very liberal, very that girl. So Mila Jovovich, Zendaya, Casey Musgraves. And this is going to be a very controversial pick.
Uh-oh.
I like it already.
But heyday, Grace Jones.
That's not as controversial as you think.
So you telling me if y'all was at the table and she jacked her leg up and said, "Do you want these?"
Yeah.
You would have been like, "All right, cool."
Yeah. If you notice, and this is not a shade, and I don't want people like, well, he ain't picked no plus size women and all that. I'm a big boy. I love plus size women, but when it comes, we're talking about purely sexually, and there's plus size women who I love, but I'm thinking about my body mechanics, and
Can't be out here. So we can't be out here big together.
Please
You get
be quiet.
lift that. Would you get that out of the way, please?
Right. I'm thinking about my body mechanics, and I'm also thinking about there's certain things with a smaller frame woman, and I like tall women too. There's certain things about a smaller frame woman that I can just do with them. Not saying that I can't, use stuff, but I know how it works. I'm a man. I still understand the mechanics of it, but it's like certain and I'll take a short woman if she compact because I like a woman with a fat ass.
What has happened on this show? Because fam, this is your fault. Because he's over here like, yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, I'm very much attracted to men. I'm going to probably end up with a male partner, things like that. I'm not disputing that or trying to code switch my preference. Right. But if we're talking purely, sexual attraction and sex, it's, I can pick her up. I can pick up Zendaya. I can put up against a wall. I can, do certain stuff that, that is appealing to me. And also too, what I'm learning about myself is I'm learning that I like being strong. I like the facial expression. Like if I'm going to have sex with this woman, I like to look at your face. I'm the type of lover that I like to look you in your face. And I like to do things and see the reaction.
Time out. No, stop it right now. Here's why I'm gonna stop it right now, damn it, DDM. Because I've been very professional this entire show. We're gonna stop it right goddamn now, okay? You're not gonna come on this show with my disgusting ass and start talking like that. I don't give a damn what your preference is. Because at the end of the day, I like anything that I find attractive, and you're not no ugly man. So don't be talking in here like that, talking about facial expressions and shit with them dimples.
You find out this nigga started she I do the player.
I'm over here clutching pearls and shit like, oh. He made me feel so feminine just now. I was like, oh.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Even though, I love men, there's a certain love that I have for women, and it may not always be in a sexual capacity, right? But a man is strength. Mm-hmm. A woman is strength, but in a different way.
Right.
And all of the women in my life, friends, family, coworkers, whatever, they will tell you that I'm always a gentleman first.
Right.
And, I'm going to always treat a woman a certain kind of way.
Y'all hear that?
So when it comes to, and I respect, where you are, what you want. If you don't want me to hold the door, fine. I respect all of that. But my natural instinct is to serve and protect a woman.
Right.
So that's just, so when you ask me about, who can get it and sex and all that, I want to please you and I want to do right by you. But what's going to help me get off is seeing that you are enjoying what it is that I'm doing to you, because I'm going to do some very nasty things to you.
I don't like the way that I feel on this show right now, because I don't normally feel this way.
I love this. This is great. I think
I don't blush on this show. I'm usually the one making people uncomfortable, and I'm sitting here like, I don't know, DDM. I'm vulnerable. It's been a minute. Don't nobody be in my house.
Well, I will say this. I don't rule anything out. So
all right, now y'all see us at Wale Mania. You should mind your fucking business.
But you know what? You bring up an interesting point, because the man that I have become and that I've arrived to now is so confident in who he is.
I love that.
Even with, my nail, I love my nails, and I'm going to always get my nails done. Mm-hmm. Me and Nick, my nail tech, we've been in this for 6 years now. So that's family. Right. But I'm very confident in who I am now. So it's interesting to me, because now with the full set and everything, I actually get approached more by women now than I do by other gay men. Mm-hmm. So like I've had like one of my old bosses at work. She asked me, she was like, man, yo, she was like, you don't want to have no kids. You don't want to have, he's like, she's like, you're a handsome young man. She's older lady. She's like, you're a handsome young man. You always smell good. You got your own place and everything. You don't want to have no kids. You don't want. I said, well, Miss Shelley, I'm gay.
Let's cut it right there.
Let me break it down to you, Miss Shelley.
He's like, yeah, but I mean, that's besides the point. Did you want?
Like, I get what you're saying, but
so it's hear what your mouth say.
That I've had my girlfriends, female friends, and I know that they talk. They mention certain things to me, and I'm at a place where I'm not ruling anything out. But part of the reason why I explicitly have not fully entertained a woman is because having so many straight male friends, and I'm not saying it's one size fit all. I know how a woman works.
Yeah.
Right. And a woman may say, DDM, I know that you like niggas, and that works for me. But that you're saying that because you're into it now, you're into the allure of it. Yeah. But when the reality comes, where I say, you know what, let's take a quick break. I'm feeling this right now. I fuck with you. Are you going to be able to handle that? Right. And the reality is, a lot of women, it sounds nice, especially in this era. And I'm like, is the date pool that low? But
yes.
a lot of women, I asked them, I'm like, girl, like, I'm a whole gay man. Yes, I will, make love to you, but understand that this is not going to be where I'm now. Your pussy was so good that I'm not going to fuck with these niggas. You understand what I'm saying? So, but I will eat your pussy, and I will.
Oh my God! Okay.
Can
we get to the 5 count? Because I don't want to. I feel some kind of way.
Nah, all right. So see, this is the thing he was trying to explain to you, right?
Yeah.
That, he ain't got to explain to me.
No, what he was explaining, right? He said he'd tear something up, but then he gonna
go home.
He got to go somewhere where some pussy is getting served.
All right, you're ridiculous.
I see DDM stories the other night. They were using DDM stories. He had a pussy bomb in the tub, and he was getting that thing right. I seen it.
Oh yeah, I love life. So another thing too, like I love smelling good. So I have an unhealthy addiction to Lush Bath and Body products.
Yeah.
Right now, my favorite cologne is Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill. I'm like damn near bathing in that, like Prada Knox Sloan, and I like to smell like either the ocean breeze or a bakery. Right?
You smell good. Like when I met you, I was like,
thank you. So it's like one of those things where I'm big on that. So he's absolutely right. What I'm finding, and we come from a time where the label was so important and the classification was paramount. And what I'm finding is that I'm actually probably really fluid.
Yep.
I don't think that I'm non-binary because I'm very much man. I just like a full set, but everything about me, okay. But
you ought to hear some of the conversations we've had.
Right, But I'm realizing that yes, you very much love men, and that's my dominant sexual preference.
Right.
But I'm actually probably more fluid than anything because sometimes I watch lesbian porn.
Let's talk about the real shit that I want to talk about on this goddamn podcast. Thank you, DDM. Yeah, you might be my favorite goddamn guest. Right. We about to turn it up. I posted a question on Twitter the other day, and I asked women specifically, like people who identify as women, do you watch gay porn? There are so many women who honestly, and this might shock a little bit of you prudes, a lot of us really do enjoy watching gay porn, and it's not for the reason that people probably immediately think. It's because we enjoy the emotional part of sex, not just the, oh, it feels good. We like to see the other person, like you were saying, you like to see that they're enjoying it. And them niggas be fucking. You hear me? And when I say fuck, I mean they be fucking. And you can tell everybody in the room is like, I don't watch it as a self-service apparatus. I watch it because I'm like, oh, I'm so glad somebody's getting it. I love that for you, King.
Yeah.
So it's we are in a time, and I think it's more so for our age group.
Yes.
Maybe not so much fam. Fam is who he is, and that's who he is. But for us in the community, we have understood that like everything is a spectrum. Mm-hmm. I am very much a pan. I call myself a pan. If you are attractive to me and you think I am attractive to you, and we are in a very nice setting, or whichever one we're doing, doesn't really matter to me. And that's something that I learned with age, because I was so stuck on the label of, oh, am I bisexual? Am I this? Am I that? When honestly, I'm just somebody who is, if I'm attracted to you and it's mutual and the chemistry is there, where's your apartment? And no, honestly, but as you were talking, at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning, what you do in the bedroom does not define who you are. So your core is to respect women. Your core is to love women. Your core is to protect women. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of cisgendered heterosexual men can learn a lot from it. If you take the sexual part out of it, what is your core values when it comes to women? And that can help you decipher out a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate you for breaking down that very arousing display of what you were saying. And I think this is a perfect time to move to the next part.
She's trying to make the list.
I ain't trying to make no list. I don't want to make nobody's list because I don't want to question myself after. I'm like, so DDM, we're not going to get married. So you saying after this is it? Because I'm going to show up in Baltimore with a gun. Like, so I thought you said you love me.
And that's another reason you bring up a good point, because I'm very caring, and I'm very conscious and conscious of what I give people, because I don't want that to be misinterpreted, because I am a nurturer by nature.
Right.
But I'm also a Sagittarius, and
that's what it is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes most sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I live with a Sagittarius as well.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah, fuck all y'all. Anyway, we're going to move to the section of our show called 5 Count, where we ask you 5 random questions just to kind of pick your brain a little bit. Are you ready for that, sir?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. First question on the 5 count. Name the perfect song.
Ooh, ciao.
That's why DDM is a music head.
I know. That's why I'm waiting.
Black music head. I mean, music
in general.
Head. As a matter of fact, there's probably going to be a conversation with me, DDM, and Ashley Alexander dropping sometime this week. But I'm sorry. Keep going, brother.
The perfect song.
Plugger.
I will name a perfect song.
No problem.
Chicago Song of the Evergreens.
I don't hear a lot of people listen to Chicago.
I love them.
I did. I love that.
I adore Chicago.
I love that. I don't need you no more, fam.
So to keep the class going, I'm gonna ask a question that does. It's the only question on this list that does have a right answer.
Okay.
In your home, your domicile, where you reside, does the toilet paper go over or under?
It go over in my house, but I use wet wipes. So toilet paper is just for guests. I keep that on hand, but I'm a wet wipe type of bitch. Yeah.
Fair
love
enough. Shout
that.
out to what's the big brand that was sponsoring?
Dude wipes.
Yeah, shout out to Dude Wipes. Shout out
Yeah,
to Dude Wipes. It's always on Fat Kid deals. I'll be buying the whole. Never
I
mind.
like cotton now, aloe with the aloe because it's nice and soothing and moisturized. Just leave it nice and fresh. It's give me a wipe.
The kind I have is called Tush. And
Yes.
it also has like a pH balancer too
Mhm.
for some of the guests that may not be so damn fresh. Because some of y'all.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody who Bussy
right.
pH ain't good.
All right, so third question on the fucking 5 count. I'm sick of this nigga. What movie traumatized you as a kid?
Oh shit. Roots.
Man,
Kizzy.
fucking Kizzy.
Very necessary, but baby.
Did they make y'all watch it in school? Because they made us watch it in school.
They didn't make us watch it in school. My mother, I grew up in a house with a mother who's an extreme history buff.
Mm-hmm.
So history and fantasy, that's Diane, 2 favorite things. So
Stop calling that woman by first.
she know I love her.
Right.
Yeah, so my mother, she bought the box set.
Ooh, we. That's real trauma because you got to
The
walk by that
VH
motherfucker.
the big VHS blicky. Yeah.
And it spelled out roots on the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandma had that joint. And then it was more traumatizing if you had the box set, because not only did you have to watch it, you had to walk by that motherfucking box set and you just like
and
cut that nigga foot off.
The initial movie when Kunta gets captured and then he sees his wrestling trainer on the ship, that was, I think that part is such a confirmation of the strength of a black man being tested and extinguished in America, because I felt that part was so heartbreaking because Kunta is seeing the best of them.
Yeah. Captured. Yeah.
Ciao.
It's so real because it's like you can still apply that to even in 2024 where you're seeing our best of the best coon the fuck out. We may not be in chains physically or on them damn boats, but we watching some of our pioneers get captured in the mine, and I don't want to say nobody's name, so go on and ask that next question, Ilfam 79.
You're like, get behind me, Massel. I got this.
I got it. These real niggas in the room, they go ahead. Ask
You niggas better not talk about our. I'm sorry. Yo, you mentioned the early 2000s as a time, and it was a time during back then. It's pictures everybody got that don't nobody. I don't show nobody that. The one staple of people's embarrassment from that time, late 90s, early 2000s, was that first email address. That first, I'm gonna be creative and have my own style. Brother DDM, brother Dapper Dan Midas. What was your first email address?
The Midas Touch at hotmail.com.
Everything he touched turned to goals. Everything he touched.
Yeah.
That joke came on earlier. The Midas Touch.
Yeah. DAMIDASTOUCH at hotmail.com.
Fired.
It was good until the DA. It's
DA
and THA. Y'all niggas on here spelling like a goddamn Dr. Dre cover.
You ain't shit. You ain't worth a damn.
That's my first one. Hotmail, mother hot.
Hey, we had niggas with a Hotmail address. Good God. You worse than the Yahoo niggas.
Now hold on. What you trying to say?
I mean,
okay. I see what kind of bullshit you want. And the last question on the 5 count: what is your favorite episode of Martin?
Oh shit!
That's the reaction.
I love it.
Fuck. Damn, there's so many. it's favorite episode.
We're okay with honorable mentions. So
Yeah.
if you feel like you,
So my favorite is the episode with Biggie.
ooh, that's a good one.
And the reason why I chose that episode, not because of Biggie, but that was a great showcase for Tashina Arnold
Agreed.
and Tisha Campbell. That sing off, and then when Gina be like, "Okay, Biggie, I'll just be over here cleaning and singing in the background."
Singing in the background.
And then when Pam come over, Pam looked fly as fuck in that puffer silver skirt. And she was like, Gina, what's up?
Oh, I
Honorable
wanted to be Pam so bad. I wanted to be Pam so bad.
Honorable mention for Martin would definitely be Players Ball. And
This one goes out to you, John.
You John.
all my years and my fears show you right. Players Ball, the episode where Gina Head got stuck in the bed frame.
Nefertiti 2000, 5000.
And the episode where Gina, this is right up there with the big episode for me when Gina had to work at Shanae Hair Salon.
Oh, now that work on Myra feet.
Yeah,
you got to go to work.
You got to go to work.
Them outtakes when the wig came off.
You know what this is giving? This is giving Eartha. It's giving Eartha.
I don't
You
know.
don't know Eartha like I know Eartha. That episode.
Oh.
Then she be like, Shanae, that's my ticket. And she closed the doors. That Martin has so many gems. You know what's so crazy? You know how I know Martin is a bigger show than what the initial ratings and what the Emmys and things like that will say? I have a friend who is white from Southern Maryland, St. Mary's County, who watches fucking Martin reruns.
It's so good. It's such a good show.
He from farm country. Okay? And he watches Martin and cracks the fuck up.
Because
that college out there is wild, though.
Humor is universal, and that's the thing. Humor and music are two things that just translate no matter who you are, where you from. It's one of those things that can just take you from whatever you going through somewhere the fuck else. So shout out to all the real niggas who watch Martin, especially shout out to the real niggas who was watching it when the shit was going on. Because good lord,
that was prime. All right, I'm gonna be an old nigga. That was prime school bus talk.
No,
like,
for
nigga,
real.
You see Martin, yo?
Yeah.
Yo, like nigga, listen.
That ass.
Brother DDM, I appreciate you coming through, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We definitely completed the you know what I mean, the BRP, you know what I'm saying, cipher. You know, we had to get you in, but this has been a very different conversation, and I'm going to say I appreciate you because I feel like as a guest, you kind of brought something different out in Something Else. This show was Something Else, but tell the folks how they can get at you on social media.
Okay, so you can follow me on all outlets at Dapper Dan Midas. You can also follow my political and pop culture YouTube channel, youtube.com/Secretary of Shade. Yeah.
I want to personally say this has been my first lengthful, if that's a word, if I'm creating it great. It's okay. It's mine now. Conversation with you, and I'm very honest. I'm not gonna kiss your ass. I don't care if you in this square.
Right.
I genuinely appreciate who you are. I appreciate what you've done. I appreciate the energy that you have breathed into Black wrestling as a whole. As someone who loves these people like they are my family, I think you are a perfect addition to this family. And if you don't mind, I would like to induct you into my family now, because now you stuck with me after you talked about how eloquently you was gonna eat some coochie. I was like, I know a friend in me. I get it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I thank you honestly so much for spending your time here with us on this Wednesday. IllFam79, let the people know where they can find you.
Hey man, IllFam79 on your social media choice, but way more importantly, 8:35 live right here. We all at. I hope this is a nice little Wednesday morning, and you done snuck away, and you in the office that they use for the parties. You know what I'm saying? You on your phone and you in the office that they use for the party. Listen, ain't no party this week. You know what I'm saying? I hope you in there and you can laugh out loud. Don't laugh too loud because the boss man, look, we can't help you get no another job. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing for you, man. But yeah, man, here at Something Else Pod, pay the 10, pay the 1, all that, man. You know what I'm saying? See y'all Thursday night.
Yeah. And as always, it's your girl, Lovely Laveau. We thank you guys so much for joining us here. Again, social media, Something Else Pod, the Lovely Laveau, wherever you decide to check me out. New merch is on the way. But as always, we are something else. Bye.
Peace.
Oh, shit! Say it again. Say something else. Oh, say something else. Say something else, nigga.